Hello, students, and welcome to our May 19th lesson. We'll start with our do now, which we will do in class notebook. We'll respond to the prompt about biographies. We're going to solve some two-step equations. Actually, I think the prompt has changed, so it's going to be a surprise prompt. So we're going to continue our two-step equations. Our assignment will be to work on the lesson page. Be very careful. Use the distributive property with a negative sign outside the parentheses. So we will be distributing the negative, and you'll see how that works. Remember, if you are in person, you need to show me your work. If you're online, show me your work or send me a photo by email. If you finish early, I've got some activities for you below. I hope you like our dragons today, trying to have something fun. And it's actually Asian Awareness Month, so that's what put me in mind of using the dragons. Yeah, today is about blaming statements, okay? We did biographies yesterday. A blaming statement uses language that puts the fault on the other person. Turn these blaming statements into respectful, solution-seeking statements. So for the first one, we have, it's your fault the cake didn't turn out. You never listen, even though you know I'm the better cook. And how could you say that in a better way? Maybe you could say, what can we do next time? Should we read the directions better? Something that doesn't just blame the other person, but acknowledges that it was a team effort, that the cake didn't turn out. Just laugh your way through it. Just think it'll be a good story you'll tell later. And the second one is, you always take forever to get ready. Because of you, we're always late. And how could you problem solve through that and help somebody, maybe it's a family member, to be better at being on time? Maybe you could help them start sooner. But we don't like these blaming statements. We want to change those blaming statements into something better and put it right there. So we have multi-step equations today, and we want to be very careful when we work with these. I'm going to rewrite these because some of them are a little hard to read. So in this case, we have 14 equals, and it looks like negative x minus 8. And when we distribute the negative through, it will change the sign of everything in parentheses. So it will be now negative x plus 8. The x was positive, now it's negative. So first thing we'll do to isolate x is subtract 8 from each side. And that would give us 14 minus 8 is 6, equals negative x, And we also want to make sure we have x isolated. So we need to do something about this negative sign right here. And what we have is negative 1 being multiplied by 8. So we're going to divide by negative 1. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And now x equals 6 divided by negative 1, which is negative 6. So number 2, we have negative 5 times the quantity of 6x plus 6 equals 30. So negative 5 times 6 is negative 30x. Negative 5 times 6 again is going to be negative 30 equals 30. So we've got negative 30x minus 30 equals 30. So let's go on to the second step. We'll add 30 to each side. And then we have negative 30x equals 30 plus 30 is 60. Now we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by negative 30 so we can isolate the x. So negative 30 on the left, negative 30 on the right, which cancels, and now x equals 60 over 30, which simplifies to 6 over negative 3, which simplifies to negative 2. Number 3, we have negative 3 times the quantity of 8x plus 2 equals 163. So we'll distribute the negative 3 through that quantity in parentheses. That would be negative 24x negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6 equals 162. Now we're going to add 6 to each side. And that will give us negative 24x equals 168. So then we're going to divide both sides by negative 64, by negative 24. So let me change my color. Negative 24 on the left, negative 24 on the right, and 168 divided by negative 24 is a negative 7. All right, number 7, we have negative 20 equals negative 4x minus 6x. Here we need to combine like terms. So let's do that. Negative 20 equals negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10x. And now we're going to divide both sides. Let me change my color. We'll divide both sides by negative 10 so I can isolate that x. So now I'm going to have x equals negative 2 divided by negative 10. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And a negative divided by negative is a positive. So we can even write it this way. X equals 1/5. I like to write my variables on the left side. So we'll do number 3, then number 7. So what can we combine here? We've got 4x. Then we have 6 plus 3, so that's plus 9, equals 17. And the next thing we'll do is we'll subtract 9 from each side so that we can isolate 4x. So 17 minus 9 is 8. And now we have x is being multiplied by 4, so we will divide by 4. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And x equals 2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. So now we have 4x plus 9 equals 2x minus 6. So let's collect the x's on the left and the constants on the right. So first we'll subtract 9 from each side. There we go. And that gives us 4x equals 2x. Negative 6 minus 9 is negative 15. And now let's collect the x's on the left side. So we will subtract 2x from each side. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And 4x minus 2x is 2x equals negative 15. And now we're going to divide both sides by 2. And x equals negative 15 divided by 2. And that's a final answer. Number 4. Sorry about that, students. There we go. Number 4, 3x plus 7 equals x minus 15. Let's move the 7 to the right side. So 3x equals x. 15 minus 7 is negative 22. And now let's move the x to the left. So we'll subtract x from each side. That's an invisible 1x there and there. So it cancels here. 3 minus 1 is 2x equals negative 22. And now let's divide both sides of this equation by 2, which will give us x equals negative 22 divided by positive 2 is negative 11. Let's look at number 9. We have to distribute first. 7x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 6 equals 39. So we need to distribute, which means to multiply the 2 by each term in the parentheses. So that would give us 7x plus 2x 2 times 6 is positive 12 equals 39. And we can combine 7x and 2x to be 9x plus 12 equals 39. And I think this problem is ready to solve. So let's subtract 12 from each side to give us 9x equals 39 minus 12 is 27. And now we're going to divide both sides by 9, and x equals 3. And let's move over to number 5. 4x plus 2x minus 3x equals 27. We can combine like terms here. We can think of this as 4 plus 2 minus 3. 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 3 is 3. So that whole side is going to be 3x equals 27. And all we need to do is divide both sides by 3. And we can see that x equals positive 9. Number 10, we have 16 equals 2 times the quantity of x minus 1 minus x. First we distribute and then we'll combine like terms. So 16 equals 2x minus 2 minus x. We don't need the parentheses now, but we will combine like terms. We have to combine 2x minus 1, so 2 minus 1 is 1x. I still have this minus 2 equals 16. So now what I want to do is add 2 to both sides. And x equals 18. All that just for that answer. So that's your lesson for today. We have some mindful art you can do with Bimano. And we have a little game, and we want you to unscramble these ways to get things going in the right direction when you're thinking about using a blaming statement. So good job. Keep working hard on these. If you want, you can practice them again, because every time you practice, you get better and better. So you keep on practicing because you'll be great.